Tom Lovett has always enjoyed the finer things in life.
My lifestyle growing up was pretty frivolous and carefree. Did whatever I wanted to, really did believe in cosmetically looking good at the time, and I did. You know, I worked out hard, but I played really hard too. I did all the wrong things. I ate the wrong food and drank, I smoked, I did all those things.
But this City of Brampton supervisor says it's that attitude that had him ignoring the warning signs 12 years ago of what would eventually become colon cancer.
It was actually blood coming out of in my stool from using the bathroom, and I didn't think very much of it. There was no pain for me with colon cancer. I didn't feel any sharp jabs or cramps or anything like that in the beginning. It was just blood, and I chose to ignore it.
When Lovett did finally see his doctor, the physician told him he had nothing to worry about.
He says, look, he says, you're 47 years old. There's no history of it in your family. We don't even check people till they're 50. The chances of you having colon cancer, he says, you've got a better chance of getting run over by a truck. And I thought, you know, that was good enough for me. He told me everything I wanted to hear. You know, I walked out. I looked both ways before I crossed the street, but I still walked out.
Finally, the problem became serious enough that Lovett's doctor agreed to send him for a sigmoidoscopy, which was less invasive than a full colonoscopy.
I was awake for it. They didn't sedate me, and I saw this huge thing on the screen because it was all televised. And I saw this huge thing on the screen that just didn't look right, had no business being there. And the doctor goes, yeah, he says, that looks like a cancerous tumor.
It was then that Lovett realized he needed to take his health into his own hands, and that his doctor's carefree attitude would not get him the help he needed.
Canada's got an amazing health system, and you don't have to go where the doctor tells you to go. You can take care of your own health and your own life, and if you don't think that this doctor is the right person for you, you can go find another doctor. You can find a specialist for this. I did a lot of looking around. I found somebody at Mount Sinai Hospital in Toronto who specialized in colon issues. In fact, they dedicate an entire floor to colon issues. And I had my surgery done there. And it was a difference to me, like a huge difference, because unlike what the first doctor told me, your surgery will be about an hour and a half, the guy that looks at his watch, she took 4.5 hours. So I asked her later, I said, why did this take so long? She says, I really like to look around. That, to me, could be the difference of making it or not making it.
Lovett hopes that by sharing his story, he'll create a more open dialogue about getting screened for colon cancer.
People need to start talking about it. It's got to get out in the open. Katie Couric broke the barrier when she had a colonoscopy on TV, but there's still a lot of people that go, I'm not going through that.
And for those who might feel uncomfortable with the idea of a colonoscopy, he has this to say.
If people don't get colonoscopies because they find them invasive, and that's too embarrassing for me, I don't want to go through it. Well, if you ignore it and get diagnosed, you're in for about 30 more in your life, maybe more. So I feel like everyone's looked up there, you know?
Lovett hopes people understand that getting a colonoscopy is the best tool to stop this deadly disease before it even starts.
If you're 50, get screened. If you're 45 and your brother was just diagnosed with colon cancer, get screened. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore signs, because this disease is 90% curable. And there's no way people should be dying of this disease the way they are.
Ginella Massa, Access Peel, Brampton.